Hi, my name's Paul Govia and I am from STL. I am the Senior Technical Consultant and I am a Certified Ethical Hacker with the EC Council. I'm here today just to give you a quick overview of a couple of very common tools that you'll find inside a hacker's toolkit. These being what's known as a USB Rubber Ducky, and the second one is known as the Wi-Fi Pinapple. So, if we start with the USB Rubber Ducky, basically we all know what USB keys are, we use them every day. We have two very similar looking keys there, one of them being a 4 gig standard USB key, and one of them being a evil Rubber Ducky. So what this is, if I take it apart, is it looks exactly like a USB key, functions exactly like a USB key, but if I take it apart, you can see inside there is actually a little mini PC inside this device, and this will then can type 1,000 words per second. So what we do is we compile what's called a payload, which goes onto here. That payload will link back to my servers in the cloud somewhere. Then once this is all ready to go, we would do one of two things, or three things. It's been known people hang about outside larger offices and actually pay cleaners. So they see the cleaning company go in and they will say, I'll give you an extra £100 cash now if you plug that into one of the computers whilst you're doing your cleaning. Cleaners double their wage for the day and you've got easy access to the system. Another way is what's called a USB spray. I mean, these things cost a couple of quid, a couple of £3. Hacker would buy, well, so this one doesn't, the actual USB or Ducky is quite expensive, but then from here we can then clone USB drives which cost a couple of quid. So we do USB spray, so we would get 15 of these things and just go and throw them around company car parks, smoking areas, outside sort of, canteens or bar areas, etc. Maybe put something on there that says directors, finances, or just leave them blank. You know, curiosity kills the cat. As soon as it's plugged into any machine, what happens is it launches a PowerShell script, but it hides the PowerShell script so the user can't see it being delivered, and that will then type whatever payload you put on here. It could be things for remote access, so we can then access the machine at a later date, look at the webcam, look at the keystrokes, obviously extract passwords, and then ultimately deploy ransomware or malware to cover our tracks. And the third way is basically if we're doing pen tests, we're obviously going to be in the office or have people on the inside that we know. Again, we would just take these with us and wander off, and it takes literally seconds. You plug it in, you've only got it plugged into the machine for 5 seconds at the most, and you own that network. So very, very powerful tool and very, very easy way to get onto someone's system. How to prevent it? Well, our endpoint security software has what's called Tamper Protection. So every single USB key that can be allowed to be used in a company is assigned to that policy. So if any rogue devices are plugged in, they won't launch. They will not load because the software doesn't recognise it as one of its. So that's the only real way. And again, employee training. Then your employees know if they find a USB stick lying around, give it to the IT department. Don't plug it into your machine, try and see what's on there. Because I can guarantee you it's probably not going to be as fun as what you think when you get onto the device. This is a very common hack because it's so easy. It's so easy and so cheap. As I say, the USB Rubber Ducky itself costs, I think it's about £100, £150. But from there, you've got it, and you can just literally clone thousands and thousands of these USB sticks, and you can make yourself a lot of money by getting onto the network. It's a very common, very common, very easy to deploy, a real easy way to get onto a system, and used to this day. It's still used every single day around the world. So it's something you will see, or you may have even done it yourself in the past. You wouldn't know, because there is no way to know. That's the whole point of it. The second tool in a hacker's arsenal, a very nasty tool and a very commonly used one, is what's called a Wi-Fi Pinapple by Hak5. same people who make the USB stick. So what this is a localized access point. This plugs into my laptop, my PC, my iPad, whatever you want to plug it into, and it allows me to create a fake wireless network. So the idea behind this is I could go sit in a conference room, a Cafe Nero, a bank foyer, wherever there's public Wi-Fi. I can then create a landing page that looks, for example, let's take Cafe Nero for example. I can create a landing page. So I would call this Cafe Nero free high-speed Wi-Fi, something to try and catch people's attention rather than just Cafe Nero Wi-Fi. I'll create a splash screen that looks just like the Cafe Nero login. People go to it, they would connect to it, but little do they know is they're actually connected into my laptop. They still get internet connection because I'm using my laptop as a proxy. So they will come into this router thinking it's Nero. They will be doing their banking, they will be logging into their Facebooks, they will be logging onto their Instagrams, they will be logging into their work systems. Every single thing that they do is going through this, and this records every single thing that they do. So I could sit in a Wi-Fi, a Cafe Nero of, say, 100 people in the middle of London, sit for about 2 hours with this, and I can guarantee you I will have about 30 people's bank details, passwords, even down to watching their webcams. It's a very, very powerful tool. There's lots of plugins for it, freely available, developed by hackers and constantly updated by hackers. Any new tools that they find, again, this will download them and install them. This is one of the worst things that you can log on to. The reason it's very important is part of the training that we do, we say never ever log on to open public Wi-Fi, and this is the exact reason why. I could go down the route of I can make this secure, I can make it not open, but that's more advanced. So that's another video, a lot longer. But never log on to public networks because chances are I'm going to be watching what you're doing. And that is the Wi-Fi Pinapple.